Mortal Kombat!
Mortal Kombat!
So I got a dilemma a little bit to start off our review.
Yeah.
So I watched a 2.5 hour documentary about the Street Fighter video game.
Yeah.
It's called Here Comes a New Challenger. And that movie gets me on Team Street Fighter, but then Mortal Kombat gets me on Team Mortal Kombat.
I'm a Mortal Kombat guy, mostly by virtue of the fact that our family was a Sega Genesis family, and I never had a Super Nintendo.
Same here.
Okay.
I never had a Super Nintendo or SNES, as the kids
Yes.
might call it.
Right.
I never had that either. I was a Sega kid, but my family, for whatever reason, they had like three things that they're just like, no, Adam, you can't do that.
Mhm.
Anything else was fair game. But two that I remember was you can't see Ernest movies in the theaters because it celebrates idiocy. And the other one was Mortal Kombat has blood in it, so you can't play it. So I always played Street Fighter, the Championship Edition,
Right.
on
Okay.
Sega, and then I would play Mortal Kombat when I would go to friends' houses.
You hear about like how big Pac-Man was and
Yeah.
arcades were in the 80s, and like we didn't really get that. That was like just outside of my window.
Yeah.
This was huge. I remember like going to the arcade and there were like 30, 40 people just standing around that video game watching people play it.
In real time, the game designers were somehow hacking into the machine and coming up with even cooler ways to kill somebody.
I remember like at school, the rumors being like, if you hit like ABBA up, it'll do like double blood mode. Or if you do like, there's a
Yep.
secret level where if you do this combo in this way. And that was like, in terms of that sort of, I don't know what wave of video games that is, maybe like the second major wave of video games, the Genesis, SNES kind of era. Um, that was like if you were in elementary school and it was just like you were hearing the rumors, you were immediately going home, you were writing it down, ABB, and the kid Johnny on the in the playground, he was full of shit. He doesn't know what he's talking about. There is no extra blood mode. There is no secret level where if you do a backflip on Goro, it does this and opens up this other character. All that stuff was nonsense, but it drove hours and hours of Mortal Kombat playtime, at least in my basement.
It
Yeah.
also fed the white boy suburbs. Wish I knew martial arts on
Yes,
Wii that we needed filled in our lives. That
totally.
was like a big thing in the early 90s was like, I should be kicking people, but I have to go to math. So Mortal Kombat 95 came out when I was in junior high.
Yeah.
But when I was in elementary school, I had a gang called Karate Blood. And all we did was we talked about um, martial arts movies. We would kick each other until it hurt, which
Right.
usually was once, and then we would stop. And we would talk about movies like Bloodsport, Only the Strong. They would talk about playing Mortal Kombat on Sega. But the big thing was we started to branch out as Karate Blood because it turned into let's guess how much these baseball cards are worth in the Beckett guide.
Oh.
And then I remember that was what broke up Karate Blood was we had this separation where it's just like I thought we were just about karate and blood. But so anyways, Mortal Kombat 1995.
We can't just go past Karate Blood and just act like, yeah, let's just move on with this conversation. No, no, no. We need to dive more into Karate Blood.
Okay.
So how many members were in Karate Blood?
It was just like a friend group and then we decided one day we were Karate Blood. So it was like five of
Got
us.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
Can we be in Karate Blood?
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was my
I,
next question.
I will warn you though, part of the reason, other than guessing how much a Shaquille O'Neal rookie card was worth, and that, deviating the purpose of the modus operandi of our group. One of the reasons that we did disband was too many people wanted to be in Karate Blood.
Got it.
But I think all the
Oh.
other members, other than me, the founding members, are all probably dead, so it's fine. So I saw Mortal Kombat 1995 at the mall on opening day, like any self-respecting member of Karate Blood would do. it was one of those movies where I did a podcast once with Patrick on Demon Knight, and I said that I went into it expecting the moon, and I got the moon, and that's how I felt about Mortal Kombat. It was like it maybe was even better because it delivered on its promise in a way that Street Fighter with Van Damme, which I like, and
Yeah.
it's a fun movie, I think. Although last time I watched it, I didn't really like it that much. But it didn't deliver on like its promise whatsoever. So like having Mortal Kombat sort of just acknowledge, okay, we're doing Enter the Dragon, and then we're just like, we've got these set of characters that everybody likes. We got the techno music and everything like that. Like they knew what they were doing. They understood the assignment and they did it to a T.
Yeah. It's basically you're just going through levels this
Yeah.
entire movie. It's like boom, okay, next one, next one, next one. There's no rhyme or reason. You're just pressing buttons to go to the next one.
Yeah.
No rhyme or reason, to the point where some of the fights are in secret in the middle of the night and they still count. That Sub-Zero Liu Kang fight just counts. They had it in the dining hall. They were
Yeah.
just eating chicken in there.
That fight wasn't as good as I remembered it being because Liu Kang is doing what he needs to do, but Sub-Zero is basically just standing there
He's holding
waiting.
his.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it also comes right after the fight of Johnny Cage and Scorpion, which is my favorite fight in the entire movie.
That's the highlight of the movie. The highlight of the movie is Johnny Cage versus Scorpion. Yeah.
I never understood when he kills Scorpion why there's a 8x10 sign to your biggest or from Johnny Cage. I'm just like, I'm like, where'd that come from? Like, is he just holding them and dropping them on people he's defeated?
I think I just need to carry signed 8x10s with me.
You should of Lyndon Ashby, no, not of yourself.
I was so pumped for this movie. I remember watching like one of those 1 hour behind the scenes specials on like FX network a week before the movie came out, and I just like I needed this movie so bad.
This movie is like by law. You said you saw it at the mall, which again you have to. It didn't play in any of the theaters. It wasn't legal. This movie smells like our old Pizza Hut pizza. Like this movie smells like Mountain Dew and Doritos and Pizza Hut pizza, but it's got to be like a little bit old, you know what I mean? Like a little bit stale. This movie is being 11. That's what this movie is. This is what it feels like to be 11. That was my Letterboxd review.
Listen, I know it was released in theaters, but the vibe I got from it, and the question I will ask is this the greatest direct-to-video movie ever? Like,
I mean, my question was, is this the best New Line Cinema movie ever?
Yeah,
okay.
It's got the New Line gloss to it that I can't.
Yeah.
I can't go there saying it's like a direct to video movie, although it does have the structure of more of a direct to video movie, and there's some special effects that look like they were straight out of the Asylum, like Reptile.
But today, you know, not 95, it's different.
In 95, it looked bad.
That's fair enough.
I was there. I was on the ground. I saw that shit.
Oh, it didn't ever look good, but you were like, well, that's what, like new spec, like the Scorpion's his little guy, his little friend. That looked like dog shit, but it was like, well, I don't. They're computer graphics. Like that's what it looks like in a computer world.
Because like Goro is like, correct me if I'm wrong, he's a puppet. At least part of him, right?
Goro looks awesome.
Goro looks great.
Yeah,
that's like a body piece, like on top of. It's like an actor. It's like you know, you put a little kid in a trench coat on top of another kid, and it looks taller. It's like a piece where like you sit them on top. You sit the Goro piece on top of the actor, and then the arms and the face are all animatronic. That prosthetic is great. That whole effect is awesome. Still,
it looks very much like something out of Labyrinth or Neverending Story, and that's why I like it so much. It's totally and the fact that he gets punched in the balls is just. Like it turned all of us back into 11-year-olds again.
Adam, not only does he get punched in the balls, but he gets punched in the balls and goes.
So if money is no object, okay, and I can give you guys, you have the opportunity to buy one of two pieces of memorabilia from this movie. Okay. You can either choose one of the matte paintings that are epic. The epic matte paintings, or one of the sculptures, the trillions of sculptures that are all over this movie.
I
I
think
don't
I
know.
would want to do like a matte painting, but I would want one that expands like the entire floor of my apartment building,
Yes.
and
There
it
you
looks like
go.
the lobby's just outworld.
One of my few quibbles though with the movie, there's a few quibbles I have with the movie, but
Sure.
the fact that Raiden is not Asian.
You're telling me Christopher Lambert, as
Yeah.
hard as he worked in movies for years to convince us that he was Asian, he's not Asian?
Is that the best screen performance of the 90s? Is my question.
Very good. It's
Um,
very good. For some reason on this rewatch, I got into my head that it would be really fun to see Quentin Tarantino play Raiden. Like he finishes his 10th movie and then he just has like a case of the fucker rounds and he just wants to play Raiden in Mortal Kombat.
I just rewatched it and I'm just like, man, there is no plot happening in
oh,
this movie.
it's nonsense. It's complete nonsense. Everything everything that
Yes.
happens in this movie is nonsense.
Yeah, it's just walking around, come with me, and then a fight. Is this the best Paul W.S. Anderson movie?
The only competition is Event Horizon.
Yeah.
I would say this is my favorite Paul W.S. Anderson movie.
It's my favorite too. I would put Monster Hunter and Event Horizon in my top three. That would be my top three.
I don't know what my third would be, but Event Horizon and Mortal Kombat would be in my top.
Yeah, I'm going with Event Horizon. I love that movie.
Sure, no, great movie. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. That's a solid answer. Thas, you said that you watched Mortal Kombat Annihilation as well.
Yes. I saw that in the movie theater.
I saw that in the theater as well and watched it frequently on VHS because it was a law, I guess, that I had to watch as much Mortal Kombat as possible at any given time. Is that movie still total and utter dog shit?
Yeah, that movie is dog. It's awful.
I like when Liu Kang in the first Mortal Kombat kicks Reptile in the chest like 1,000 times.
Well, because that's what you guys did in Karate Blood. That you were just like, look, there we are on the screen.
Let me tell you about what Karate Blood was more like. It was just like it's like you're going down. It's like this is gonna look awesome. Everything that we're doing here on the schoolyard is gonna look like something out of a Seagal movie. And then one of us would kick the other one like in the back of the leg, and then we go, "Oh God, that hurt." Another
And
thing
that's
90s movies did that they don't do anymore, and Mortal Kombat does both, is bad guy falls to his death, bad guy lands on Spike.
yes.
Yeah.
I for kids who weren't there, for people who weren't there, let me explain something. The 90s were mostly defined by people falling on spikes. We thought that when we got older, you would have to look out for spikes everywhere.
Yeah.
That's what was going to happen. You always had to look out for spikes. They were going to get you.
I've been to the emergency room several times in the 90s, and every time I was there, it was a guy with a giant spike.
I ended up rewatching the 2021 Mortal Kombat. It's a movie that tries its best to take the lore seriously. It tries to set it in a more realistic world. It emphasizes the blood, the cursing. It's trying its hardest to be a hard R. It's like not, I don't want to say it's bad. I know they're making a sequel, but like it reflects a very, very different kind of Mortal Kombat fandom. And I think in that way, it's actually kind of interesting. In that like that movie is made for Mortal Kombat fans of the 2010s or whatever, where there's this whole new run of games that I know nothing about that are way more violent and way more sort of heavy on storytelling or whatever it is. And that movie is apparently just for them, and it just wasn't for me.
I want to finish us up here by asking you to choose who would win in these versus fights that we didn't see in Mortal Kombat 95.
Okay. Let's go.
Right. Okay. Kano or the young woman in the sea? All right, Scorpion or Reptile?
Scorpion.
Yeah, Scorpion. Yeah. Well, because Scorpion had more range, right? Reptile had the spit, but it didn't go as far. So I would go.
Yeah.
Okay, Shang Tsung and Sonya if they fought. He wanted it real bad, but it didn't happen.
He did want it real bad,
Yeah.
I'm going with Shang Tsung on this one.
Liu Kang's brother and that monk guy before Liu Kang leaves to go to Outworld.
I'd go with the monk.
I'm going to go with Liu Kang's brother. He seemed like he knew what he was doing. Liu Kang had to learn it from somewhere.
That's true.
So. Goro or JB?
Can JB go for the nuts?
Yes.
Yeah, of
Yes.
course.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, so that wraps up Adam Month. Let's recap the 3 movies and rank them that we talked about in Adam Month. Thas, have you seen Edge of Tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay, all right, rank Edge of Tomorrow, Mortal Kombat, Alita Battle Angel.
Alita Battle Angel, Edge of Tomorrow, Mortal Kombat.
Okay. They both fall apart in the third act, so I'm gonna go Edge of Tomorrow, Mortal Kombat, Alita Battle Angel.
Okay, I'm gonna go Mortal Kombat, Alita Battle Angel, Edge of Tomorrow.
Well, we all have
Hmm.
different rankings.
Yeah.
Everybody had a different ranking. That's
Yeah.
great.
Very cool.
Speaking of great, Mortal Kombat 1995.
Yes. Hell yes.
Now I want to order dirt pizza. I
Yes.
want to watch more martial arts stuff.
The cheese on the pizza's got to be slightly stale. It's got to be like a couple hours old. You can't have
Yeah.
fresh pizza with this movie.
I'm glad you brought that up because to bring this all together, I will give you an update on one member of Karate Blood, and this is a
Oh,
true story.
okay.
I lost track of him about 15 years ago, but the last thing I heard was that he went to jail for sticking up a pizza delivery guy with a BB gun.
That's not very karate of him.
Rob, I think we are very lucky that Adam got out. I
Yes.
mean, there could have been a
Absolutely.
lot of bad things that happened.
Yeah, Karate Blood was bad news. I'm really glad we got out. We got Adam out when we could.
All right, so we will be back next week. We're starting our June exploitation
Yes.
series for the month, and it's going to be kind of a discovery episode, I think, for both of us, Rob, because
Yeah, I think so.
we're going to be celebrating Paul Naschy Day,
Mhm.
and it's going to be both of our first Paul Naschy movies, and it's Hunchback of the Morgue on Tubi. So
Yeah.
watch it on
Wow.
Tubi, and then watch the review.
And
Well,
then-
guys, before we leave, I want to say thank you
Yeah.
for having me. Like this has been a very nice little experience here.
Dude, it's
Yeah.
long overdue, and we should have done
Absolutely.
this a lot sooner, and it was a blast, and you'll be back very soon.
All
All
right,
right,
then.
thanks, everybody. Until next time.
Mortal Kombat?
Woo!